Right, so here we are, week 9, 3/4 of the way through. I've got everything in the game that I want. There's a few tweaks need doing, mainly just polishing. There's a lot of animation problems, but I'm not an animator. This is about the tech design, and it's mainly about the AI. Um, so it's just a few animations that need to get in, really. So this week, I've been just polishing the project as a whole, making it feel like a proper demo. I've got controls in here. I do need to add a few more that I've added in the last 2 days, mainly the block and heal. So you've got it for your keyboard, you can change them as you want, and then you've got gamepad one as well. There is a bug at the moment where you can't set the gamepad one, but I'm pretty sure it's just an option that I need to change. I'll have to double check that. And then I'll just put this back to C for now because it's a case of it's changing it in my engine rather than in someone's downloaded game. So if I begin, I've got these crystals, hence the shards. So you can rest at these just by interacting with them, and it will heal you. There isn't an animation at the moment. As said, I need to get into those animations. Apparently, I like saying that. Another thing that I've fixed now is you can pick up the loot off enemies without having to move. Because before you had to move back and forth. I do need to set it up so you can use a controller to pick up and put these down, like equip items, I should say. And now there's trash loot from enemies, so you get webs from spiders and teeth from. Press the wrong button. I've been doing that because I've been changing around the button config and everything, trying to get it feel right. But yeah, so there's trash loot from enemies that are not human. Humans drop actual items, and you can block. I fixed the big issue with it being too bright, like when I go up against the side of the wall. Outside, I didn't notice that last week, so apologies about that. There's now chests in here, so you can interact with a chest, get some potions. I've just put 5 just whilst I'm playtesting, and then when I equip them, they go onto my waste. So I have 5 potions. I'm not going to waste them because at the moment they heal you up to full health. That will change. I'm going to set an actual value for it because you could have like different variations of health potion. So yeah, if you block instead of dodge, you take 0.6 times damage rather than taking full damage. Obviously, if you dodge, you don't take any damage if you dodge at the right time. So I'll heal now. This animation is a bit buggy. I'm going to make it so you have to put your shield away because otherwise it'll go a bit weird. Like there, it chopped my head off. And then once the animation's done, you get full health. I'm going to use Anim Notify to do it so that it's like as soon as you finish drinking, you get full health rather than wait until the end of the animation. And I think I might cut that little bit off the end of the animation. Boss fights haven't changed. The final boss fight, there's been a couple of changes. There's an issue with respawning at the moment as well. So if you die on your respawn, you can't use inventory when you respawn. One plus side to this is bosses like tree climb thing is it gives you time to drink a potion. So it kind of gives you that. Yeah, I miscounted. I thought it'd done all of its webs. Luckily, it didn't hit me. Well, it did hit me in the end, I guess, but it didn't hit me that time. If I keep running around in circles, it's. I've got all the ways to cheese the bosses, unfortunately, because I'm the one that's playing it all the time. I do apologise. I have a bit of a cold at the moment, so if you hear me sniffling or my voice suddenly goes a little weird, like it just did there, it's just because I've got a cold at the moment. But you know, game dev must go on. Okay, so he's dead. I can heal up and loot it. So from that spider area, I didn't hit all the spiders. I was a little bit lazy, but I'm trying to get through and show off the new features. So if I shouldn't have used the potion there. I could have just rested up. So this is where you'll actually get the shield. It's just in the inventory at the moment for testing. So I can take some more potions, and I was going to make it so you can eat food as well, but I don't think I'm going to put that in. So I can equip these. It will just stack in with the other potions that are already on the player. Unfortunately, you cannot see how many there is at the moment. It's something that I might work on adding, but it's not important for this project. So the spider enemies dropped webs, but now these snakes drop fangs. So it's just like trash loot, as I said. It's different value. So snakes fangs are worth more, but it's completely customizable. You just have to create your own um, mesh for it if you want it to have a mesh, and you need to make a texture for it as well, which is just it's 100 by 100 pixel image, pretty easy to make, doesn't take long. I'm just being lazy at the moment with my combat. I'm going to tweak it so that there's not as many health potions as well, because it's not actually needed. Right, I'll kill this guy. Losing out on a few teeth, but yeah, so that number up at the top is how many health potions I've got left. So this boss fight is a bit difficult with the magic, but if I can get past the magic, it's much better. It's because the animations. Now I do have an issue here of the way that the health potion works. So I do need to change that because that took way too long to use for one, and kind of got me out of the combat for a while whilst just dodging whilst I was waiting for it to activate. Right, so now it's doing magic and biting, but it's spending a lot of time doing bites, and now it should just be biting. Yeah, because these bites do a lot of damage. So I've got one potion left, or is that my last potion I just used? So double clicked. It activated the potion as I died. That's brutal. So now I can't use my inventory. So what I'll do, that was just a bit of black desert you saw in the background, is I'll just show off the shop and the final area rather than doing everything. So I'll just change this to play from my camera. So I'll just use the shop. So I've put in like, so you can see this is the price. So it's 110 for buying that, but I can sell my sword and my shield for 55 and 60, and then I would be able to, for example, buy a hammer. But I'm probably just going to buy some potions for this next area into the amount. I can buy up to 4 at 5 gold each because there's only, yeah, there's 4 of them for 20 gold. So I'll buy 4, and then I can only sell it back for 8 altogether. I will buy myself some earrings, and then I can go in. Yeah, that's an interesting bug. So I just sold those earrings back, and then I realised there wasn't action in the shop afterwards. So if I press the interact button, helps. So inside it's still a bit dark, but you've got this like area around the player. He seems to be stood in the doorway. So what I was doing for most of my week was trying to get these guys. Oh my god, they're so much more brutal than I remember. Yeah, I've been trying to get these guys to no longer be mannequins, but unfortunately, it's a case of the animations completely break and like the heads go inside the bodies, and that they'd be like floating on the side because I'm trying to get them to have the same mesh as the boss. So I'll just quickly play the boss because I've made a few edits to the boss. I just noticed something there. So with the boss, I've got it so he has 3 different billboards. Just the billboards seem to reset themselves. So I'll just quickly, and basically just checks which billboard is closest to the player, and which one's furthest. It will move to the furthest for its teleports, just so that it's not having to teleport through the ceiling. So if I just play from here, and then he has an animation for his magic attack now. There is an animation for each one. I just haven't implemented them all. So he's teleported away to there, and then he should teleport back. But if he doesn't, he'll just stay at that same place, and then he'll start using his next magic attack. I won't get him to his melee because that's where all his animations break. But that is the update for this week. As you can see, I have done a bit. My plans for next week is just getting those last of the animations in and really polishing it and making it look like an actual game.